Welcome back to my channel and a very special welcome if you're new here. My name is Jen and this is Jen Clayton Beauty. We do everything beauty and makeup, and that includes testing new makeup. I have so many testing new makeup videos coming your way with Advent calendar season wrapping up at the end of December. All of the subscription boxes that I've received. I just have a lot of new makeup to test, not to mention I've purchased quite a few new things myself. So today we're actually testing out the products that I received in December's Ice Cream Beauty box. Ice Cream Beauty is an indie makeup subscription box. Typically you only get makeup, and this month's box was so good. I can't wait to try out the items that I received. Now we did get one skincare item, so we're not gonna test that out today. Normally we don't get skincare in Ice Cream Beauty, but we got 4 makeup products that we are going to try together. So if you're excited, give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not, turn your bell on, because I upload so many new videos almost daily the last couple of months, so make sure you don't miss any by turning on your bell. I'll link all of the new makeup that we tested out down below for you if you're interested in picking up any of these products. I'll link Ice Cream Beauty box, all of my favorite beauty subscriptions, including Ice Cream Beauty box, the makeup that I'm wearing today. If you would like to shop the completed look, discounts to my favorite indie brands, and come follow me over on TikTok for more beauty and makeup. So let's talk about the 4 products we're testing today. I'll zoom you in and we'll get started. So everything is from the Ice Cream Beauty box in December. So we received this makeup brush set. Now this has went viral on TikTok. This is a $15 eye makeup brush set that I've heard is absolutely incredible. Now when I unboxed Ice Cream Beauty, I said the quality of these feel really, really nice. You actually get 5 different eye brushes. Now we're gonna use these today. The ferrule is kind of this wine orange color, and like I said, they feel really nice quality. So we're gonna test them out, see if there's a reason they have gone completely viral. We also got this lip product that's shaped rather strangely. It has a diamond at the top of it, which actually this is just the actual packaging, and this is the lip product that comes inside. So this is a lot of packaging for this, but it's fun. It's a fun packaging, and this color is really pretty. It's a deep wine color, so we're gonna test this out as well. And this is from Bodyja Beauty. And then we got this face palette from Trifle Cosmetics. This is the Pavlova palette. Now the packaging of this is really, really cute. It has a Pavlova dessert on the front of it. It's a blush and bronzing palette. We've got Pulp, Peachy, and Sweetness, a couple of blush options, a couple of bronzer options, some highlighter options. I like this palette because it is pretty shade inclusive. There's a little bit of something for lighter skin tone, medium, and deep skin tones. I will say this swatched really, really beautifully. So I'm excited to try this out with you. I've never tried anything from Trifle Cosmetics. And then last but not least, the thing that I was beyond excited about, literally flabbergasted, mouth open to the floor, was this little 6-pan palette from Ensley Cosmetics. This is the Hoppy Go Lucky. So they have this woodland creature line that they're releasing, 9 to 12, I guess depending on how they sell for the brand. This is the second one that they released. I actually just bought the 3rd one. And again, this is the Hoppy Go Lucky. This palette is so absolutely adorable. We have 6 mattes and 2 beautiful sparkly multi-chrome shimmers. I love everything about this palette. I think the color story is unique and different. I love that it's a 6-pan palette. The shades swatched absolutely beautiful as expected from Ensley. It's such an amazing, amazing indie brand. I cannot wait to try this on my eyes. I'm so excited to have this. I now am thinking I may pick up the whole line. I want to see what the next palette is that they release. And usually what I'll do with indie brands is buy multiple things at once to get free shipping or reduced shipping. So I'm going to see what kind of comes out with this whole little woodland creatures, but I can't wait to try this out. So let me go ahead and zoom you in and let's get started. So we're gonna test out this face palette. I've done all of my complexion products with the exception of powder. So powder bronzer, powder blush, powder highlighter. Now, this is the bronzer shade that will work for me. It's in this peachy in the middle. It is a little bit of a glowy bronzer, which isn't my favorite. So I'm going to go very, very light-handed. I will also say that these little half moon shaped palettes, they're hard to get a good size brush in, but I'm going to just layer this over my cream bronzer. pretty. It gives a little bit of a luminous glow to my skin. I don't know if you can see that layered over my cream bronzer. To be honest with you, like I said, I'm not really a luminous bronzer girl. I don't really see myself using that, and that's the only bronzer shade in the palette for me. So bronzer-wise, this palette isn't gonna work out for me. Now blush, we've got this light peach blush, which I think may be a little bit too light for me. And then we have this kind of maroon shimmer blush in the pulp section. I think I'm going to use that. Again, these pans, like I said, make it a little hard to pick up the product. Tap that on. Okay, that's really pretty. That's pretty. Can you see that it is giving a little bit of a glow to my skin? So if you aren't a highlighter person, this shade would be really pretty just to serve as a little bit more of a glowy blush. I do like the shade of that. It is really pretty. I will say though that it is a little bit muddy looking, and I didn't even go really heavy-handed with it. It just feels muddy on my skin. And again, I think this peach shade is too light for me. So unfortunately, the blushes in here really aren't going to work for me either. And as for highlighter, the white shimmer shade in Sweetness and this kind of champagne shade in Peachy, both of those swatched beautifully. I think with the Happy Go Lucky palette and the blush shade I chose, I think I'm actually going to pick up the champagne shade and buff that on. This is pretty as well. I will say that it's not my favorite formula. Again, I feel like it's just sitting on my skin, kind of like the bronzer, kind of like the blush. It didn't really sink into my skin. It's just one of those highlighter shades that just kind of sits on top, which is not my favorite. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and set my face with setting spray, see if that helps kind of sink some of these products in. First impression wise, color wise, application wise, not my favorite. Now I will say, as I am drying my setting spray, it is definitely looking a little bit better, sinking into the skin a little bit more. I do really like the color of the blush. I think it's beautiful. The highlighters, meh. The bronzer, not for me. I don't love this. I don't think I'm actually ever going to reach for this again if I'm being completely honest. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and pass this on. That's a little bit of a bummer because this would have been really fun for travel. One other side note, the pan size, especially for bronzers and blushes, in my opinion, is way too hard to get any fluffy brush into. I'm so excited to try out this palette. I've already primed my eyes, as always, with my MAC Paint Pot in Painterly. We're going to try out the brush set, the Viral brush set. So using the fluffiest brush, I'm going to pick up, ooh, what shade do I wanna do? I think I'm gonna do this lighter pinky purple shade called Thumper. So I'm going to pick that up on my fluffy brush, and I'm going to use that to set my eye primer and be my transition shade. I'm also going to pull this up a little bit above my crease, so when my eyes are open, you can still see that shade Thumper. Now, as expected with Ensley Rain, this is going on beautifully. It's very pigmented, very opaque. It's blending out, diffusing out like a dream. Now with the other fluffy brush, which is a little bit looser than the first one, I'm going to pick up Hippity Hoppity Boo, which is this beautiful peach shade, and I'm going to just buff that into my crease, not going above my crease, because I do want to keep that really pretty shade Thumper. I want you to be able to see that once my eyes are open. So this is just going to diffuse that out, add a little bit of color, add a little bit of depth to my actual crease. And then going back into Thumper, I'm just going to buff that along the edges, just diffusing everything out. I absolutely love that there is an angled brush. This is my favorite to do my outer corner, to add that depth to the outer portion of my eye. We're going to use, for obvious reasons, the deepest matte in the palette called Carrot Cake, which I think this orange should have been called Carrot Cake, but I'm not Ensley Rain. I didn't create the palette. So I'm going to tap that on the outer portion of my eye. Wow, that is beautiful. It's kind of a purple brown, and I really like it. It's unique. It's not just a typical brown, matte brown that would come in really any palette. So beautiful. Back into Thumper one more time, again diffusing and blending out those edges. So far I've used 3 out of 5 brushes. love these. I can see already why they've gone viral. They pick up the shadows really well. They blend them out really well. We still have 2 more brushes. We still have kind of a fluffy brush and this flat, dense brush. Now I used 2 out of 3 of the fluffy brushes, so I'm probably not going to use this one, but we are going to use this dense one for the lower lash line as well as to pack on some shimmer. As always, going in with the NYX glitter glue. As always, I want to do 1 shimmer with my finger, 1 shimmer with the brush. We've got this beautiful peachy multi-chrome and then this blue. Oh, this blue is so beautiful. I'm going to start with Velveteen. Isn't that pretty? Which is that more peach leaning. And I'm actually going to place that all over my lid with the exception of just the inner corner. Oh, this is so pretty. Oh my goodness. Wow. That is so sparkly and shifty and beautiful. I can't get over Ensley Rain shimmers. Their mattes are really nice, but their shimmers, out of this world. I am obsessed with that shade. Now we're going to go into Happy Hour, which is that beautiful blue, silver, pink, shifty gorgeousness of a multi-chrome. And I'm actually going to place that right on the inner portion of my eye. Stop it. That is so beautiful. Oh my goodness gracious, is that beautiful. And I'm bringing that just up to meet that shade Velveteen and then using that essentially as an inner corner highlight. Wow, I am blown away, as always with Ensley Rain shimmers, but wow, these are beautiful. Now continuing to use that dense brush, I'm picking up Carrot Cake, which is the deepest matte in the palette, and I'm just going to buff that on my lower lash line. I'm staying really close to my lash line. And I'm going into that shimmer Velveteen, that beautiful peach shimmer. I just can't. And buffing that right on top. That's going to diffuse out Carrot Cake a little bit and give me a pretty shimmery lower lash line. One last time back into Happy Hour just to finish that inner corner highlight. I will tell you right now, I cannot wait to put Happy Hour all over my lid. It is so incredibly beautiful. So beautiful. Let me go ahead and do liner and mascara. I'll be back and we'll test out our lip product together. Liner and mascara is on. I love my eye look so much. We'll talk a little bit more in depth about my thoughts on this testing new makeup, but we still have this interesting lippy to try out. Now, like I said, the packaging of this is a lot, and the color of this though is really pretty. It's kind of a raisiny wine color. It's actually called, I think, Finest Wine. Fine Wine. So I'm not going to do any liner or anything. I wiped my lips off completely. Let's try this out. This is definitely a deep, dark shade. Wow. I actually really like the color. I think it's really pretty. It feels really nice on the lips. It looks really good. Sometimes these really deep shades can be kind of patchy. You might have this ombre look unintentionally on the lips, but this one actually went on really, really nice. This is probably not a shade I will wear all the time, only because I don't really wear a lot of deep, dark lips. I've really been in a lip oil, lip gloss mode where I do a bold eye look and a little bit more neutral lip. I do think this is pretty though, and honestly, it pairs really nice with the Happy Go Lucky palette. So this is Fine Wine from Bodyja Beauty. Let me go ahead and brush out my hair. I actually just did my run. I'm training for a 10K, so I did my run this morning. I have a lot of housework to do today, so I'm just going to put my hair back up in a ponytail. But let me get a little bit more presentable and I'll be back and we'll talk about my thoughts on this testing new makeup. Here is the completed look for today in this testing new makeup. Let's go over some thoughts. So first, let's go ahead and start with the brush set. I used 4 out of 5 brushes. This is really good quality. The bristles are nice and soft, but some of them are more dense for shader brushes. Some of them are a little bit more fluffy. This style of brush I really like to buff on my lower lash line. I mean, $15 for 5 brushes, it makes them $3 a piece, and you would never know. The quality of these is so, so, so good. I totally see why they went viral. So glad these came in my ice cream beauty box. Now I have an affordable brush brand to lean on. The lippy from Bodyja Beauty, this wine color, it is really beautiful. It's vampy, it's dark, it's deep. It's just, for me, probably not a lippy I'm going to continue to reach for. Like I mentioned, I'm in my lip gloss, lip oil, nude, neutral lip era. I will say it feels really nice on the lips. It is dried down. I mean, it still transfers, but it's dried down. It's not drying on the lips. The The packaging to me just is a lot when this is really the lip product, but I know that sometimes makeup is supposed to be over the top and fun like this. Love the rhinestones. I am a glittery, rhinestoney kind of girl, but I'm probably honestly not gonna reach for this again. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass this on to a friend. And the Trifle Cosmetics Pavlova palette, unfortunately, this is going to be decluttered for me. It is not a palette I'm ever going to reach for again. Like I mentioned, bronzer is a no for me. There's one bronzer shade and it's glowy, which is not my preferred. The blushes, this pink is definitely too light for me. This is honestly too deep for me. I didn't think they applied very nicely. Same with the highlighter. Once I set my face, the highlighter sunk in a little bit better. But to be honest, with my large makeup collection, this is absolutely not a palette I'm gonna reach for again. I don't think the color story is right for me. I don't think the selection is good. I don't think the quality, the performance, just not for me. So unfortunately, going into my declutter. And last but not least, and really the star of the show with the brushes, is the Happy Go Lucky palette from Ensley Rain. I love my eye look so much. It's so ethereal and bright and beautiful, kind of springy, which there's a bunny on the front. It kind of makes sense. Love this blue multi-chrome. I could see myself using that a lot. This peachy shade, just everything about this palette is fantastic. I love Ensley Rain. So I was so excited to receive this. It did not disappoint. I love, love, love it. So that's a wrap on another Testing New Makeup from Ice Cream Beauty December box. Let me know down below, did you get the December box? What do you think of the products? What do you think of my look? I will link all of the individual products down below if you're interested in just picking up one or two, like the Ensley Rain palette or the brushes. They'll all be linked down below. I'll also have Ice Cream Beauty, my other favorite beauty subscription boxes, the other makeup that I'm wearing today. If you would like to shop the rest of my look, discounts to my favorite indie brands, and come follow me on TikTok for more beauty and makeup. We had a couple wins and we had a couple fails in this Testing New Makeup.